Hello everyone and welcome to 9 Inch Charge, a Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Warhammer the Old World discussion channel. Today we're going to take a look at yet another preview for the Kruleboyz. I've got to admit that after we saw the Sludge Raker Beast and the Mars Crawler Slogoth on the Dominion Day preview, a part of me did think that this flying creature that we saw in the background of the Battletome artwork was just going to be artwork, because, you know, surely they can't have another massive amazing monster after they've just released these two. But here it is. Let's have a look. It's a dual kit that makes two phenomenal models that we're going to have a look at today. A new Killaboss model and a new named character, Gobsprakk, the Mouth of Mork, both riding atop Corpse-rippa Vulchas, with beaks and claws sharp and big enough to rip you limb from limb. Just before we dive in, please drop this video a like if you enjoy it, and please consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to see more content like this in the future. Gobsprakk, the Mouth of Mork, is an incredibly powerful shaman for the Kruleboyz faction in Age of Sigmar. He's so named for his ability to speak any language, conveniently including Kragnos' long-dead tongue of the Dogrut. He acts as Kragnos' mouthpiece in the mortal realms. However, it's thought that his natural ability as a schemer has led to him applying some creative interpretations of the edicts of his new best mate. Lore-wise, this kind of reminds me of Morathi, where she's telling the daughters of Cain all along, oh yeah, we're doing this to bring back Cain, yeah, this is all in Cain's name, it's not for me, no, I won't benefit from this at all. And in much the same way, he's using Kragnos to achieve his goals. Not that he necessarily needs to, because he looks to be phenomenally powerful. He's killed a Lord of Change and has put its hand on the top of his staff. This is something that would be sucked back into the realms of chaos after he'd been defeated, but Gobsprakk is keeping it in the material plane just by his iron-willed desire to show it off. We only know a little bit about his rules, just a tiny bit was teased, and that is that he has an incredible knack for countering enemies' magics. The ability Mork says no. Each time this unit unbinds a spell, the caster suffers D3 mortal wounds. If the spell was unbound and the unbinding roll was 10 or more, the caster suffers D6 mortal wounds instead. This is caused because the shaman likes to summon swarms of minuscule tapeworm squigs in the guts of his opponent, disrupting their spellcasting and sometimes even causing them to explode in an eruption of war energy. But enough about the rules, let's have a look at this model. Of all the monsters that have been teased or released for the Kruleboyz so far, I have to say this is my favourite. I mean, it just looks incredible. It's got some real height to it as well, and a great amount of width to it. The pose is just right as well, as if the Corpse-rippa Vulcha is just about to get off its perch and swoop in to kill something. Gobsprakk as well looks really menacing, but actually what I think I like even more than him is his little grot sidekick at the back, who's got a sort of assortment of eyeballs and potions and different things for incantations that he's just passing along from behind the curtain. Seems to have a sort of mandrake root in his hand. I'd really like to see this represented in the rules in some way. I think it could have some kind of really fun dynamic depending on what he hands over. I really hope they get the internal balance of the War Scroll just right, because often in this game I find that if something does combat and melee, it ends up doing neither exceptionally well and kind of sits in this middle area, and then we don't see it too much on the tabletop, at least not at tournaments anyway. So unless they get this right, the better option gameplay wise may be the Killaboss on Corpse-rippa Vulcha. His Vulture's got a slight variant, it's got big horns, it actually looks more ceremonial and more imposing than Gobsprakk's in my opinion. If I were to take these, I'd probably do a head swap. But the Killaboss himself looks really imposing, and he's armed with a Jagged Boss sticker and shield, which we know is a Rend 1 Damage 2 weapon, so nice bit of output from him on top of what we're going to get from the Vulture. What do you guys think about this release, you know, aesthetically and lore-wise, and what do you expect to see in the game? There's a little bit of a tease as to what it could be like gameplay-wise in the short story Cunning, which can be found on the Warhammer community website, and in that it does tear apart a fully grown ogre. But that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe, and I will catch you next time.